A few years ago, I was looking for a roommate. The vacancy had arisen because my previous one was a Swedish guy who had been having some trouble with homesickness. Eventually, it got too much and he moved away to somewhere with a colder climate. So as you do, I put some ads up on various sites, and it didn't take long before a guy called Robert responded. We messaged back and forth a couple of times and arranged to meet up one day at a Starbucks. I was immediately struck by his easy charm and wit. You couldn't hope to meet a person who was easier to talk to. He was in art school with ambitions of making it big as a painter. How exactly you go about doing that, I have no idea. But we became friends straight away, and I didn't think twice about letting him move in. Just before we parted ways, Rob, as he insisted I call him, asked a question I really did not appreciate. I know this is gonna sound weird, but by any chance are you afraid of clowns? He said with a smile. I suppose so, I replied, wondering why anyone would ask. I probably watched Stephen King's It at a stupidly young age. Oh damn, he said. I'm a clown on the weekends. I like to do charity events and fundraisers and visit sick kids in the hospital sometimes. Is that a problem for you? Because I know some people are seriously afraid of clowns. Oh, of course not. That sounds cool. It's just the bad clowns that scare me. I have never personally known one before. But Rob didn't seem scary. I don't kill kids, he said with a grin. He threw his neck back and drained the last of his coffee from the cup. It's the adults I go for. I bursted out laughing. What a cool guy, I thought. Our first few weeks of living together went about as smoothly as possible, and things were a good deal more peaceful than they had been with my previous roommate. I definitely did not miss being waken up at unholy hours by sobbing. Rob would get up, go to class, come home, and paint or have a quiet drink with a friend or two. Sometimes on the weekend, he would put his clown suit on and go out to those charity events he talked about. He didn't seem like a scary clown. He was so cool, in fact, that he even began to change my view of clowns. There was a freezer in our kitchen that I told Rob not to bother using. It hadn't been right since before he moved in. I kept meaning to call someone to come out and look at it or replace it, but I guess it must have slipped my mind. One day, about 5 months after Rob moved in, I came home to find all the lights on, but total silence in the house. That was strange. Rob was always watching TV or playing his guitar. He hated silence. But I really knew something was up when I noticed something different about the freezer. I walked over and looked inside. Oh my God. 8 chunks of a human body, all cut up neatly and stored tidily on the shelves. I can't really explain how I felt at that moment. I panicked. What the hell can you do in that situation? My mind was racing, and I thought back to the day we met when Rob made that joke about only killing adults. Holy crap. Just then, a faint shuffling noise came from Rob's room. I didn't know what to do. For some reason, I tiptoed over to his room to see what the hell was happening. I don't know. I suppose adrenaline just takes over at that point. I peered in, and sure enough, there he was, laying on the floor with a mad look in his eyes. He stared up at the ceiling. After a long delay, which I'm sure he was aware of my presence, he looked at me and said, "You're a sick bastard. I'm calling the police." Clowns are the worst roommates, don't you think? Always uncovering the dead bodies in places you specifically told them not to look. I'm afraid I had to kill him too. So now, my old Swedish friend has a dorm partner to sleep along with him in that big freezer. Oh, by the way, I'm still looking for a roommate, if anyone is interested. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please share, like, and comment, and become part of the Unity by hitting the subscribe button. If you have a scary story that you would like to share, be sure to send it to my email or post it on the free horror stories subreddit. Consider donating to this channel and be sure to follow me on Twitter. And until next time, stay spooky and never forget, there's always a reason to be afraid.